Merry Christmas, everyone. This is a surprise, I am certain. But isn't that what Christmas is all about? Surprises, happiness, fun, togetherness, love, joy. Well, I would have to agree with those premises. But I want to bring something to your attention. It's pretty big. So I want to, again, keep all of you on top of things. So what better time to do it than today, Christmas Day? People, here is my concern, and I've been voicing this pretty strongly lately. It seems that we are at a tipping point here with regard to not just the stinking markets. We're talking about an issue on a global scale. The financial system, first of all, and this is a lot of what I want to cover here, it's been propped up. And not only has it been propped up, but the issues that are underlying it are monumental. And I want to bring one thing to your attention with regard to the banking sector. Now, we understand that just over this weekend, we had Treasury Secretary Mnuchin meeting with the CEOs of 6 of the largest banks on Wall Street. That should tell you something. It should also demonstrate to you that we're having a repeat performance of what happened in 2008. Then Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson met with his banks as well, and we all know how that turned out. Now, we all understand that, well, we were forced to bail out these banks, but did we really do that? Did we really bail out these institutions to the tune of nearly $1 trillion? I'm going to prove to you that we did not do that. And not only did we not do that, I am not saying that they didn't steal that money from the middle class to support Wall Street, because that's what we really did, was we bought time which was wasted in many ways. And we're going to shed a little light onto that. And I want to talk specifically about Bear Stearns. I don't know how many of you read this book. I would suggest picking this up. I have no connection to this book. I don't get any royalties from this book, nothing. But it will shed a lot of light on what happened. My copy, by the way, happens to be autographed. What do you think of that? So, buy this guy. So you can't have it. I also want to shed a little more light onto a few things, and this is why I'm doing this video right now. I'm rummaging through my things, and I happen to find this. This is a letter which was sent out to shareholders. Note the date here. Let's see if I can show that to you. You see that? All right. Kind of a standard letter that was sent out to clients of Bear. All right, for which I was at the time, and I'm going to read a little bit of what that letter says in just a minute or two. But let's back up a moment. Prior to the absolute failure of Bear Stearns, which happened to be, I don't know the exact number, but in the top 10 largest banks on the planet at that time, just prior to the meltdown, this institution was established in 1923 and became, again, one of the bank of banks on the planet. And the issue, I don't think people understand, with not just Bear Stearns, but with every single bank at that time, was so much larger than the measly $1 trillion, and I'm saying measly because that's all it was, that was used to kind of prop this whole thing up until now. We're starting to see a lot of issues here. What people don't know, and I'm going to urge you to do your own research on this, Bear Stearns in particular happened to know a lot about this bank. At the time, was holding mortgage-backed securities. These were supposed to be safe assets, safe as safe can be. And we all know how that turned out. And they loaded up their books. Are you ready? Sit down for this one. With over 13 trillion, you heard that number, $13 trillion worth of derivatives associated with these safe assets. You understand? This is just one bank, Bear Stearns. So let's just use Bear Stearns as an example here. $13 trillion in derivatives. Where did that all go? Let me let you in on a little secret. They still exist. And not only does these derivatives still exist, and I've covered this at length, it's in the quadrillions, the derivatives that are floating out here with regard to debts and all kinds of financial instruments connected to the markets. But this is just one bank with over $13 trillion in derivatives. So you can imagine every other single bank was doing the same exact thing. What the real numbers might be, who knows? So this $1 trillion or this TARP money, whatever it was, 780 billion, I mean, it didn't even scratch the surface. All it did was buy time. Now, before I go off here on the deep end, I want to show you, again, I want you to look at the date on this, okay? The date on this letter. See that? All right. In March of 2008, this institution evaporated. It's just gone. It was actually kind of absorbed by J.P. Morgan. But the main thing about this entire letter here, which was sent out to clients, here's the part I want you to pay attention to. And this is what they always do. And this is kind of, I think, what we're seeing now. This is, again, the end of the letter. I'm going to read right here. It's too much. I have enormous confidence in the funds at Bear Stearns and the ability of our talented professionals to bring you the highest quality products and services now and in the future. You can count on us to deliver. You can count on us to deliver. Well, they delivered all right. And we know how that all played out. So again, Merry Christmas to all of you. And so I want you to really understand that nothing was ever fixed here after the 2008 meltdown. That the TARP money, what actually happened to it, I guess we'll never really know. But this bank alone, over 13 trillion in derivatives, and it's probably even more than that. And that's just one bank. So the issue here, again, and I've been pushing this home hardcore lately with the derivative markets and the associated debt around the world, is frankly off the Richter scale. I wanted to bring that to your attention again because I think we're seeing a lot of the same things right now. And I believe without action that needs to be taken, I've covered this at length, we're going to see a massive wave of bank failures occur yet again. A consolidation of power by these institutions. And of course, the middle class is going to be on the losing front with regard to everything that we're seeing here. I explained to you, again, what our president needs to do to fix the current situation. And I think it would work. I really do. I'm not going to cover it again. But I also feel that our president, unfortunately, is fighting too many battles right now. I don't care how well thought out your plans might be. When a battle plan, because this is a war, he's fighting trade wars, economic wars, wars within his own party, wars obviously against his opposing political party. I mean, it's crazy. So my issue, and now he's fighting this other big war here with the Federal Reserve, what they're doing, and I think he's really being disingenuous with regard to a lot of things that are going on. And either it's part of a really grand plan, which I laid out just yesterday, or again, he's fighting on too many fronts. He's got to pick his battles, and he's got to win them one at a time. We've seen this kind of strategy in warfare planned out by the greatest generals in history fail because of, again, fighting on too many fronts. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Merry Christmas. And I want you to think about this story. It's pretty interesting. Over and out.